Hi, Tarun. We've got some exciting news to cover, right? Just a
Hi.
few days ago, we saw news from Delinea, which announced its intention to acquire a company called Fastpath. We know that historically, Delinea is positioning itself as a PAM company or privileged access management, whereas this company they want to acquire, Fastpath, is seen more as an IGA company, stands for Identity Governance and Administration, which means they do things like access reviews and provisioning, kind of known for segregation of duties. And they have a special focus on financial apps like Coupa and NetSuite. So what do you think is the significance of these companies coming together?
Yeah, I would say three things that I personally, as we were processing and reading this news, first of all, congratulations to the Delinea team and the Fastpath team. But three things I would say, take key takeaways from the announcement. Number one, just 2 weeks ago, Cisco, a $200 billion market cap company, coming out and announcing the year of identity intelligence. I think this is another yet proof point. 2024 is the year of identity and beyond. Number two, a classical traditional PAM vendor, like you rightly noted, realizing that PAM alone is not enough. Right, the identity threat vector is the new perimeter of their attack surface, and the identity PAM vendor coming out and saying that look, we need to go beef up because that traditional PAM tooling is not going to be enough.
Yeah.
And number three, Fastpath core expertise was around segregation of duties, where going beyond just definition of username or the identity, but understanding the groups and roles. So again, pure identity by itself means nothing, that you have to go beyond it to really find the true picture of access.
Yeah, I think of the maybe it's a realization that every identity is actually a privileged identity in some way. And if you care about protecting your attack surface, you've got to treat every potential compromise as
Absolutely.
privileged.
Those non-human identities and those machines, yes.
Yeah. When we think about this acquisition, it's not their only one. About a month before, Delinea announced the acquisition of a smaller company called Authamize. Authamize, known for cloud infrastructure entitlement management, meaning they're looking at identity access for cloud platforms like AWS. So, like, what is this? Is this Delinea putting together a portfolio of, end target systems so that they have the maximum coverage?
Couple of things that you take away from those series of acquisitions, KIM followed by IGA or a segregation of duty, is realization that from a customer perspective, a platform approach is critical for you to stay relevant as a vendor, right? For you to, given the economic reasons and the budgetary pressures, to approach the use cases as a platform approach, right? And number two, look, at the end of the day, you could ask me a question. Do you think Delinea will make another acquisition? Absolutely, they will, because what is that North Star? The North Star from a customer perspective for the decade forward is securing access to data as number one priority, or increasing their priority is becoming very critical. So thereby, if securing access to data is important, whether it's KIM or IG or PAM or an ITDR tool, all of this tooling has to come together.
Yeah.
It has to come together because again, securing access is the principle of least privilege that we call it, is top three needs of an organization right now.
This is something Veza has been working on for a long time, of course. We've announced that we have over 200 integrations to all kinds of different systems, including SaaS apps, including cloud infrastructure, including data systems like Snowflake, even
Right.
your in-house apps that you've built yourself. So is coverage the name of the game here for identity, or is there something else?
I would say yes and no, Jason. I think yes, enterprise coverage, applicability to systems across an organization is very critical for an identity system, apps, databases, data lakes, infrastructure. But I would say the deeper, the reason I said no is the deeper observation is that authorization permissions metadata, which is so powerful, which defines the true picture of access, as we call it. Bringing that, normalizing it, given that it is very technical jargon, transforming that to what in English language with some access intelligence and context is where that future of that space is, which is what gets us very excited to be able to go even more faster and welcome this news of Delinea going down that path as well.
There seems to be two kinds of auth, right? People talk about auth N, which is authentication,
Right.
And they talk about Auth Z, which is authorization. And this is really what Veza has been saying since the beginning, that authorization presents the true picture of access. And if you don't go to the level of permissions, you don't really know who has access to what. So if Delinea is making this realization, they're probably not the only one. What do you imagine is going to happen in the year ahead?
Yeah, look, our we shared our forecast predictions as we were thinking entering into this year, and this was essentially one of the prediction we made, which is the industry is going to wake up to the power of authorization. The industry is going to wake up, that conventional IAM PAM approaches are not enough. You have to go beyond the IAM era, and I think that's the luminary moment as far as I take it as the crux of this announcement. That very excited to have Delinea join the family. The ecosystem, as you said, is very important for all of us to come together to champion the next wave. And so we welcome Delinea to this movement, and all of us in a little way, it will help make the world a little bit more secure and safer.
And congratulations to the folks at Fastpath too, right? All right, we're going to keep our eye on the space as things unfold. It's going to be an exciting year for sure. As always, Tarun, thanks for your time.
Thank you, Jason. Much appreciated.